All right, I think we're live. This is my first live stream. Let's see if anyone wants to join. I'm going to do some work in Codex and Claude. What's up, Aditya? How's it going? Lime James, hello. What are you working on today? I'm what I'm building this server agent that is supposed to be able to deploy your application on a VPS. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Vercel, but yeah, I'm building like a server guy as an agent. That's one of the projects. That's this one. And the second one is operating system for creators, being able to upload YouTube videos and transcribe them and so on. Oh, sorry to hear, Aditya, that you're not able to enter. So what's your plan now? I'm doing good, thanks. I have several questions here. So backend offline, what does this mean? Secondly, it doesn't seem like I can create a project, and it's not clear to me why. I like the fact that we have divided every step into its own thing, like clean cut, record it, publish a long video, and so on. But I'm a bit confused because the top bar seems to repeat or overlap with some of the steps there. Okay, so one of the issues that I'm looking at the project on an iPad size, and that makes it a bit harder. So let's expand it a bit. Definitely more intuitive now, but I still have the same questions. Did you make any plan before implementing? Yeah, I have a pretty big plan that I have talked to the AI with about. Sorry, here's quite an extensive plan. But I roughly have a sense of what I'm doing, like what I'm implementing, but of course I don't have a full vision and I'm exploring how the product feels. The problem is that my screen real estate here is a bit small because I have zoomed in a bit, so it's a bit easier to see. Maybe that's a better window setup. I'm not sure. Maybe I should use a separate browser. what stack structure of the files, what app you want to create. Yeah, I have an idea of what app I want to create. And the stack, I actually let AI choose that. So I didn't have any preference, to be honest. Government exam for a job in college. Good luck, Aditya, before 15th of August. Yeah, so you should get the results soon, right? So maybe for streaming, that's a better setup with a separate browser like this. I can properly see the app now. Lime James, what's your setup? How do you work with codex and Claude? Can you go through all my Claude and codex sessions in this project? And let's discuss some improvements that we can do. Like, I'd like you to suggest some improvements that we can do. I actually want to go through one use case in this application. I would like to upload a video and then let AI cut it for me and see how that works. But it seems like I cannot create a project. So I asked Codex what's up with that. What's up, everyone? We have 5 people watching. That's awesome. What are you all working on? Why are you here on Saturday? You don't have anything better to do? So what I'm building is this application is operating system for creators. So if you're a YouTuber, you can upload your video and this application would cut the video, will publish it, then we'll create a blog post, distribute it as a short, and research topics that are similar in my niche. This is one of the applications. The other application that I'm working on is a server agent, this one, and it could deploy and maintain your applications. So this server is an agent. Basically, if you have heard of Vercel, it deploys your applications, but Vercel is very expensive, so I'd like to figure out a cheaper way to do that. Just put your application on a virtual machine, and then this server agent takes care that it sees what you have deployed and then takes care that there are no errors and things like that. Okay, I think I have a bit of feedback about the user interface on the server agent. The problem is that in every step, we first see the CPU utilization and the watch from outside, like the chapter, how it is doing. And we see that on every single section. And we also see this map with here's what it exists, which I really like, but we see it also on every single section. And only then the content that is relevant to the current tab is shown. So I think we should somehow reverse them, but at the same time have a place for how it is going, and here is what exists to be more prominent on the page. What is the criteria for each cut of the video? So the way that I do my YouTube videos right now, I've actually now record them in a way that it's very easy to cut them. You just need to remove the silences, and whenever I say something incorrect, to cut that out, or repeat the sentence, you remove that out. And it turns out that Codex has become pretty smart in automating this part. Like, it can remove the silences, and it can remove me stumbling upon my words and saying things that don't make sense. So Codex takes all of this part out, and then the video is edited, because the way that I record it in OBS is that I put my camera view on top of my screen and I just record it. I don't do some complicated cutting anymore. And then I import this version from Codex in CapCut, which is video editing software, and I do some polishing on top of that. AG, do you work in tech? EJ, sorry, 55105. When I communicate with those agents, I understand how bad my communication is. Like, it was able to express my issue with one sentence, and I had to ramble like a whole paragraph for this one sentence. Retired software, really? Like, retired because of age, or because you got too rich, or because you hate software? Journey, current tab, system over. Currently using only Codex because of rate limits. I have used Cloud Capture 10 more accurately, but Codex implement. But man, I think that's correct. I agree with you here. Except for Opus 5. Opus 5 is not a good model. It doesn't capture intent very well, and maybe we'll see it at some point. That's why I switched to Fable when I asked this question. So this is the first time that I'm doing something like this. I asked Fable to go through all my Cloud and Codex, old Cloud and Codex sessions about this project, and to suggest me improvements. And actually, I like reading the thought process of the models. because then it helps me for my YouTube videos to analyze the models better, how they behave. So let's do that. Bucharest. Oh, that's a neighbor. By the way, I'm in Bulgaria. I retired because I could. Congrats. That's awesome. What do you do these days? Watching live streams about coding after you retired from coding? Can I actually see what agent Fable's panned? Like, is that an opus? Is that sonnet? Like, how can I tell? Now, something that I'm scared with Claude is when I write something while Claude is working, it gets confused. Sometimes the queuing is not very good. You use CapCut to remove any bad text. Actually, EJ, that's partially correct because I figured that codex, when I tell codex remove any bad text, it does a pretty decent job. So the only thing that I need to do is very small final polish cut. Most of the bad text are removed. So when I start saying a sentence, and if I see that the sentence is not good, I start saying the same sentence a bit better, and then codex removes the bad sentences. It's like magic. It saves so much time. Not sure how to promote the apps. I'm looking ways to reach more users and suggestions. Yeah, make YouTube videos. That's the best way. Make YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. You need to go talk to people. What is your app, by the way? Tell us your app. That's the way to promote it. EJ, by the way, you could check it out. It's written like this codex. It's actually this application here. This is ChatGPT basically, but for developers. So now we have one agent that is reworking the layout of the creator operating system. And one agent is fixing the layout of this application. I'm also listening to super nice mix on YouTube. I wish I could play it to you, but I think it's copyrighted. So since I have a lot of usage still left, I've turned on fast mode, but yeah, still a bit slow. Is there a way to configure you so that you span always Opus 5 subagents? Like your default general subagent should be Opus 5 and not inheriting from the parent. My use case is that I don't want to have Fable 5 subagents because it's very costly. All right, thanks a lot. But now when you span subagents for search, for example, would you use a model that is different than Opus 5, or Opus 5 would be always the choice? Like, is there some use case where we override the general subagent that we have configured? Please, when you're testing, use your own browser and don't open my browsers because it messes up with my workflow. You have a browser in your own app. I think that there's still too many navigation points and sections that are overlapping in the application, which is confusing. Also, it's not clear if I first should create a video project before I do cutting, publishing, and so on, or can I use each operation separately on its own? I wonder if we can improve this so it's more clear how to start, where to start, and also the overview is simpler. Pipeline first sounds good, but keep in mind that we have different types of projects. When we create a project, we have a short form project, we have a long form project for YouTube videos, for example, and later we may have other types of projects. So it's a bit more complicated than just a simple pipeline because we have different pipelines. And you could check out the plan, maybe the spec, what my use case is exactly for this application were. But if you have any questions, you can ask me and then I'll try to explain them. FSD driver, hello. Batty boy. Hello, Batty boy. How's it going? Are you in tech? Are you a software engineer? Claude DGen, nice. What's your favorite model? What do you think of Opus 5? My rate limits for Fable are almost gone, by the way. Yesterday I started the workflow and that's how it goes. FS, have you tried the latest OpenAI models? I feel like I'm gonna be an OpenAI shill here, but you use Lovable to make my app? Awesome. What app did you do? What app? Lovable. Are you from Sweden? One of the most exciting European startups, Lovable. Very happy with Lovable. Took you to 50K, no way. 50K what? 50K users, 50K dollars, 50K cents. But that's amazing. 50K, not bad. Are you working on your app today? Want to share it? Got a taste of Fable 5? Nice. What are you selling? What are you selling in your app? Drop shipper, nice. I had a sense. I had a sense. I was thinking you're either AI agency automation guy or you are importing and selling stuff. Well, that's a good use case for something like Lovable or Cloud to set up your website and then sell stuff. I wonder the recent changes in the European Union import regulations, how did they impact you? Or did they? You know what I mean? So now when you order something from Temu, you have to pay like 3 euros. Unless it's from a local warehouse, then then you don't have to. Selling SaaS. Wow. In this economy, selling SaaS, that's good. Dropshipping marketing skills. Man, if you're a girl, let me know. But man, I feel like marketing is so important and many people don't realize it, especially in our field, like the tech field. People just would spend 2 years coding and not market their application and like why there are no users. Exactly. None of them know how to market, like 20 competitors in a saturated market. Marketing is everything. Good on you that you figured it out. I also cannot market, but at least I know it. So I haven't figured out a best way to do that because right now I'm working on two applications in parallel, but I feel like I'm not really deep into any of those, and both applications are really complicated. And then I just spot some mistakes and I tell the agent, hey, fix that and fix that. But I feel like I'm lacking some holistic overview and thinking about the system. Actually, that's something that maybe I should tell my agents and then we could brainstorm how to fix it. So I published a video about Opus 5 and it seems like a lot of people are having this experience that they're not very happy with it. But I feel like this is something that Anthropic would actually fix. I think partially this is because of the harness and the memory. Feel like this is fixable. Many people don't like how Opus talks. They are used to the warm Claude voice, but I actually don't mind how Opus 5 talks. I'm not sure if anyone has thoughts on that, but I like the personality of Opus 5 doesn't bother me at all. Man, but this application is very ugly. I need to fix the user interface, like everything from the colors to the spacing, font, alignment. The app, who is it for? Uh, they are mostly for me for now, but I can very bad. I can sell something like that. But the problem is that they are very complicated to develop, which I really like because it just pushes my skills, develop my skills. This one is about deploying your application. It's basically a server agent. This could be your server guy. You drop your application and it deploys it, but not on Vercel or Netlify, just on a virtual private server. And it gets extremely cheap to deploy such an application, and it doesn't lock you into a particular ecosystem. And then it tells you all the architectural parts of your application, like all the infrastructure parts of your application, the utilization, if the application is up, what are the logs. So this is, if you want to hire a server guy for your application, you get this application instead. You get this thing instead. This is a server agent. It's here. This is one of them. And the other one is this one. This is creator operating system. You upload your videos. It edits them. It uploads them to YouTube. It generates blog posts, repurposes them, uploads it to multiple platforms at the same time. And it's obvious how the server guy could make money. But I think it's also obvious how the creator operating system makes money. You just sell it to a couple of companies, optimize their workflow. B2B, that's a very good question. I mostly want to sell to businesses, yes, because I think customers usually don't have the purchasing power, and like regular customers, they have way less purchasing powers and harder to deal with. And businesses, you can just sell at scale. If you have distribution, that is, if you have marketing. But honestly, I'm just trying to improve my skills here. So don't want to sell anything anytime soon with these applications. Okay, I'm just going to talk to you about some of the things that I don't quite like in the application, and maybe you could make something out of my ramblings, like a better plan how to fix all of them and spot the intent behind my frustrations here with this application. The system overview, I like that it's always accessible in the top bar, but I feel like it should be somehow accessible in the sidebar as well under this session. Then when we start with your application section, we have this repositories you opened here list. And this is a bit confusing because those repositories also relate to different projects. And I know why you put it there, because you want a shortcut to, you want a shortcut selection for the user. But at the same time, there's this tension that those are different applications that I'm deploying. I am not sure what exactly the solution is here. And those arrows that we can expand, those nodes, what this is for, it's not very obvious that we can expand this section. Like what server agent reads and what it never does. It's hard, yeah, it's hard to see that you can open this. The arrow, the icon, it is not clickable. And then on the right side, there's this read only. I think I understand what you mean. What you mean that the application, that the agent doesn't change the application. But again, it's not obvious what it is read only. It's a very developer-oriented terminology, which is fine, but it could have many meanings. Then we're moving to the readiness check. I have those, so choose address and connect accounts, they're white, which means that we haven't done them, I guess. But why are approve server and approve launch then orange, and review my PR blue and live green? Like it seems like the colors indicate some state. Actually, the colors indicate some steps right now, but usually those colors indicate state, which I don't think is the case right now, which makes it more confusing. And again, here with the arrows, it's hard to see that we can expand them. Commit, I see a hash of a commit, but we should also link this commit to the GitHub repository. For example, if I want to see exactly which state of the application this committed, I should be able to click on it, and this should lead me to GitHub. Explore without credentials. I think it's unclear what it means, and I think we should remove that, and I think we should not have something like explore without credentials, because And I think we have a big code path that is specifically for testing the app without credentials. But this setup doesn't really reflect well the real world. So there's almost no value to that, and it's mostly confusing for the user. Are you a real developer? Yes, I am, or was. I was a lead software engineer at a Silicon Valley company, but I left. So now I'm just YouTubing, Not that I know much. I don't know much, but I was, yes. Moving on to your web address section. I was in the big leagues. Yes, I was. But the big leagues are not so impressive as you think, actually. Nobody knows what's like in this life, nobody has any idea what's going on. All right, moving on to the web address section and the confusing parts there. Your domain stays where it is. Nothing about it changes until you approve an address. I don't even know what you mean here. Automatic domain setup. Let server agent find the domain and a free app address. It sounds like the agent would go and search and buy a domain for me, but I don't think this is what is happening here. I think the server agent looks for my Cloudflare account and from Cloudflare fetches already an existing domain. Use a different account on Cloudflare, or what kind of different account? Use address and connect to Cloudflare. I thought I'm already connected to Cloudflare, so why do we have this button here? And check saved account. Saved Cloudflare account, I would assume. Like this whole web address section is extremely confusing. You have to think like a human here and give a good overview of what is happening. I almost think that we need a small system overview for this section and maybe for the other sections as well that illustrates the domain infrastructure overview. This is a big prompt here. Let's see what happens. Next up is connect your accounts. Read code and prepare releases. So when I click those sections, I can see GitHub, Cloudflare, and so on, but I cannot click on GitHub and Cloudflare. Like usually those application names, when I click them, they should always lead to my application or to my account. I should be able to click and navigate there. Same with the Beta Stack Outside Monitor and Hetzner Cloud. Trust boundary, account, unit, dedicated project, credential, project API, token, and scope. again, super confusing. All required connections are valid. Place on this VPS. Place what? And then I clicked on check the keychain, which I'm not sure why it's on the connect your account. Um, and then I got this red banner, something needs your attention, the keychain could not be inspected. But there's a bigger problem here. Why do I connect my accounts only after I have defined my web address? I think I'll actually stop here because this prompt is getting pretty long. And after we address, maybe from those thoughts, you can extrapolate for the other sections where my issues are. We can fix those, and then we could do another round of feedback. Do you still go hiking? Yes, hiking is one of my favorite activities. I I'm gonna go next Sunday on a pretty long hike. Do you think Codex could do something similar that this script does? Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. What is happening under the hood EJ is that Codex first translates the video into transcript, and based on the transcript, cuts the video. And instead of me going and editing the transcript, Codex does it. And I found out that Codex does an amazing job at that. So the most tedious part of video editing, like removing the pauses, repetition, bad sentences, Codex does all of this. And out of a 40-minute video, I'll get like a 12-minute, and then I just do the final pass in CapCut. That's a really good question. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing with Codex. But usually how I was doing that with, I'll just drop down the video in Codex. I'll just tell the Codex edit that. But I want to package this in an application because after that, I also do thumbnail generations and so on. For example, here, I believe you could see a lot of thumbnails that I was generating for my videos. And I want to package this actually in an application and then streamline the whole process. Look, so I think this thumbnail, for example, that I generated actually, this thumbnail that I generated for one of my videos is amazing. And if you see the original was pretty bad, like the one that I manually created. But I want this all to happen automatically. I don't want to prompt Codex 100 times to generate the thumbnail. I want this to happen automatically. So this is what this application is about. And I want to give this application some niches to track. So some YouTube channels, some Reddits. And then when I start working in the beginning of the day, it would give me video ideas. I mean, many people are doing something like this, but I want something specific for my workflow. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry, was muted. EJ, if you're here, do you also do YouTube videos or some type of videos? Because you asked, you know about Descript. Uh, it suggests that you also do video editing, I guess. You want to go to Bali Gang? Absolutely no. I have no interest in Bali Gang. What about you, FSD driver, full self-driving? Do you drive Tesla? What do you think about Tesla? FSD, where do you live? If you don't mind sharing. I think I asked you, right? I assumed you are from Europe. I mean, in this time zone, you probably are. You probably are not in America. That's for sure. You're in Canada. All right. What time is it? Canada time now. Like, I mean, the time zones in Canada are crazy, but still, it's still interesting time of the night or the day. I want to go. Just came from Bangkok. Nice. Payne, what's up? How's it going? I'm doing great. Did you learn some new language? Took a couple of years off to chill out. Trying to not get eaten by bears. That's what I'm gonna try to do on Sunday as well. But next Sunday, not this one. You open the company and start creating videos. Awesome. Let's go. See, the applications that I'm developing would be perfect for you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, videos. Are you doing shorts, short form, long form? 4:44 a.m. Yeah. Is your sleep schedule messed up from Bangkok, or is it always messed up? I mean, mine is not great either. I slept like 4 hours today because I couldn't fall asleep so long. San Francisco. No, I actually was in Munich, was living in Munich and Hamburg, Germany, and I came back to Bulgaria where I was born to do this YouTube stuff because I don't know how long it would take. Maybe it would take 5 years, 10 years, and I want to have just enough money to not feel pressure about that. But eventually I'll go back in Munich. That's my goal. Never took the America pill, you know, but yeah, definitely would have earned way more money there in San Francisco. would also not be an issue to go there because I have German citizenship and Bulgarian, and I was working for a Silicon Valley company, so yeah. But I like Europe, to be honest. That's why I stayed here. Finishing Latin skill 3. Actually, we have 2 Canadians here. Payne also from Canada, FSD driver from Canada. Heartburn, damn. Sea salt popcorn. So your salty popcorn better than sweet? Struggled to get back sleep, yeah. German Vibe Chorus, let's go. Gibt's hier auch deutsche Zuschauer? The girlfriend of one of my best friends is from Vietnam. He goes there for a month or so. He really liked it actually. Six and a half hours, yeah. How do you feel? Energy levels? Butter popcorn better than salt one. Salt one could be also butter popcorn. No? And so Claude is working here so long and I have no idea what he's doing. I mean, yeah, I know what he's doing, but it's not burning my Fable tokens. I assume that it has delegated to another sub-agent, Opus 5, I would guess. Let me look. Ich spreche Deutsch. Welcome. Du lernst Deutsch. Dutch. You're learning Dutch, damn. Du bist. Ich bin. Socks. Crocs. With socks, actually, because the AC is working and then it gets cold on my feet. I wish I could inspect a bit more the thought process of codex, but they're not giving the thinking traces here because someone would steal them and would train their own models. But yeah, that's what I'm missing a bit. Belgian YouTuber struggles with English, really. And they speak Dutch. Crazy. They speak like 5 different languages in Belgium, right? EJ, thanks a lot for joining. Good luck with the videos. I'll be live from time to time, and we can catch up. Let's see if we can see this. Ten significant advances in mathematics and theoretical computer science solved using an internal version of Astra, our next major model, for a total cost of about $2,000. So they are cooking a new model that we're gonna get soon, I think, OpenAI. Something that still doesn't sit quite well with me is the fact that I have to click too many buttons to get an outcome. For example, when I click clean cut a recording video, and when I upload it, I want the cutting to happen automatically, but now instead of video being cut, I have to transcribe it, click a button to transcribe it, and so on. And then a few more steps, I believe. Instead, the application should just cut the video. So I like having control of the process, but at the same time, those are implied steps that should happen automatically. And I also should be able, before publishing the video, have a separate step for creating a thumbnail. And actually, thumbnail generation is a big part of this application, so I'm not sure why we skipped it. I'm actually curious now how Opus 5 talks. Like, what's the personality of Opus 5? Because this message that I send is a bit confrontational. So let's see. So in this whole conversation, we've been talking about metadata and creating metadata for a YouTube video. And I'm working on an application that streamlines the whole YouTube pipeline, video creation and update. And metadata is part of the pipeline. Like the steps that we're doing here manually are part of the pipeline. And I want you to write a product specification, how to integrate what we have been doing here into my other product that is the streamlined pipeline. And please ask me any questions if it's unclear. I'd like us to align a bit before generating this specification. And it doesn't have to be a file, it could just be a wall of text I can copy paste. Roddy, hello, how's it going? And OpenAI seems to be a bit down today. Like I have those reconnecting issues. although they have a pretty high uptime. I'm doing great, Radhi. Working here on some code. After so long time. Yeah, I've been here on this channel actually quite consistently. Radhi, how is it going? How are your studies? All right, before answering the other questions, I'd like this specification to be more about what we have been doing so the other agent can decide how to integrate it into the application. I don't want that we decide how to integrate it into the application because we don't have enough context. What is everyone doing, by the way, on this Saturday? Are you all working or just having this stream open to pass time, cooking some nice breakfast? What's happening? Setting up my notebook to do Android development with Claude. That's awesome. Notebook. Is this the Google laptop? Or the Google is Pixelbook, right? XI More. Where are you from? Are you software as well? Software developer? Apple M5, not bad. How much RAM do you have? Can you run some nice local models? I have M4 Pro, but don't have much RAM. 24 gigabytes week. Actually, I'm gonna give that to Opus. It's a bit confusing, but I wonder if it would be able to infer my intentions. And to confuse it even more, I'll send it while Opus is working on some other task because I want to understand if Opus is able to track tasks. From Berlin. Hallo. 64 Gigabyte ist genug, um Jammer zu starten, but kein seriöses Modell. Nice. You know what? DeepSeek V4 Flash was released this Saturday, and I actually want to try to run this on a rented GPU. And I think if you had 128 gigabyte, you may have been able to run DeepSeek V Flash, which on some benchmarks performs even better than Fable. Absolutely bonkers. So I think next year your computer actually should be pretty capable to run something really close to Opus 5, maybe? Man, I haven't spoken German for about 1 year, so Apologies. I should figure out how to play some music while I'm streaming so we can listen to something. Incredulous of these benchmark results. Yes, they spend too much time benchmarking. So I want to actually try it. I want to get DeepSeek V4 Flash, and I tried on some complex applications and use cases. I think they are actually distilling the bigger models and creating incredibly valuable data and then applying reinforcement learning on some small models and then getting models that are really, really capable. It's amazing to see. So it's a new laptop. You got XY more. You did use V3 Pro successfully using Pi. Nice. Opus as an orchestrator. That's a nice setup. Delegating, validating subagents V3 output. Damn, that's a nice setup. So you're using Pi. How do you specify that Claude should or Opus should default to DeepSeek as a subagent? Is that a skill you wrote? Did you write it in the MD file or did you do that per task manually? Because I have this in my settings, Cloud Code Subagent Model Cloud Opus 5, but I don't think you could specify like models from other providers. I wish I have any observability over what Opus is working on right now. Okay, it's here. I want to see the thought process as well, like the thinking traces. Oh my pie. Okay, let me check it out. A debugger, nice. What is happening here? Time traveling stream rules. What is that even? Also, how do you use a debugger with an agent? Does it step through every tool call or? Sub-agents here. Split the job across workers. Isolated work trees. Open chamber. Nice. So open chamber is powering, like it's the user interface to MyPy. Or open code. Doesn't open code provide its own interface? It's not only a CLI, right? Hmm. I feel like you have experimented with a lot of setups. I've heard of OMyPy, but only heard of it. And then Open Chamber, had no idea that it exists. Maybe it's my ignorance. Not only UI supports other providers, more features. and less opacity to what agents are doing. Yeah, that's nice. I'm missing this right now in Codex and Claude. A lot of the stuff is hidden. I wanna see more what the agents are doing. Supports other providers. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so those sub agents, they are probably orchestrating this on a harness level, right? Makes sense. This week, testing Kimi a lot. It's really good. 2 terabytes of VRAM. Yep. What do you like about Kimi K3? Zymor, I guess, right? Yeah, can you tell me your thoughts on Kimi? Because I don't have much impressions, like personality, intelligence, intent understanding. How do you find it? Also, does it feel like Claude? Sometimes I felt like these Chinese models, they have some Claude flavor in them. I can't explain it. Especially on the front end, it's very obvious. High reasoning, really powerful. Nice. It's great to hear, honestly. Yeah. I'm hoping that next year we could run those models on something like your MacBook. Let me try something. Can I play maybe some music here? I need your feedback if you hear it or not, and also if it's too loud. Also, I don't have a good playlist selection, so just YOLOing it. Some not royalty-free stuff. What's up, Johnny? How's it going, Johnny? Nice to see you. I'll try to play music now. Let's see how it sounds. Maybe it's too loud. Give me your thoughts. Maybe you don't hear it at all. Test, test, test. Let's see if that is too loud. I think that's a good volume. Maybe slightly more up like this. That should be a good one. Just ran out of codex credits quota, but they just did a reset, no? So I decided to get my first entropic. Let's go. Didn't they just reset the limits, Johnny? Like yesterday. By the way, if the music is too loud, let me know. Or if it's too quiet. It's so strange because sometimes I could see all the thought process of Opus and sometimes no thought process at all. Like right now, I only see running commands, editing files, but I want to see reasoning traces. By the way, I stopped the music because my mic loops back into the audio, so there's echo. But next time I'll try to set up some music without echo. Yo, sorry about that. I muted some microphones because I saw that there's some echo happening and my music setup is not good yet. But okay, so plus subscription, you burn through that really quickly. Yes, I can understand. Financial charting app, good idea. I think if you have burned through your OpenAI subscriptions that fast, then your Anthropic subscription would like last for 1 hour or so. You should try, try using next time when you get back your credits, Luna or Terra on max reasoning efforts. It should have very good performance and you should have way more credits. Like you should select Luna and then effort max, and you should have so many more credits. You could also use Sol. I guess you have used Sol, and then tell Sol to use Luna as sub-agent workers. So Indian dividend investor, if you're here, I'm working on a server agent, like an agent that can deploy your application on virtual private servers, and application that is my head of content for my YouTube channel. Anthropic subs burn faster. Yes, give it a try, Johnny. And then you could make your own opinion. But Johnny, I was saying before my mic got muted, I'm not sure if you heard it, to get more out of your OpenAI subscription, try to use Terra or Luna, especially Luna, on max reasoning efforts. So here you select model, Luna, and then you select max reasoning efforts, and you should have so much more credits. And Luna is actually really good. Let me see if I can find the tweet. Luna is really good. It could match Opus 4.8, I guess, or Terra. Or you could, if you really want to use Sol, like the highest, the most intelligent model from OpenAI, you could tell Sol to use Terra or Luna as sub-agents, as workers, So it could delegate most of the work to those lighter models that don't burn that much of your usage. Because if you use Sol on the Plus subscription, yeah, you burn through your credits way too fast. If you're here, Johnny, I'm not sure if you're here, but look, this is the blog post from OpenAI. And we have Luna here. If we put it on a max reasoning effort, Luna, and OpenAI just yesterday decreased the price of Luna to 80%, like with 80%. So we put Luna on max and it performs similar to Sol medium. It's insane. It's also very similar to Sol high. And it's on this chart 30, 70, 60, 70% less expensive. And they reduced the price of Luna by 80%. So you're getting like 20 to 25 more out of your usage out of your OpenAI subscription. 20 to 25 times more if you use Luna on a max level. And then performance-wise, you're gonna match Sol almost. It's crazy. Like really, if you have the plus subscription, just use Luna on max. Like select here model Luna and then effort max, and then you're good. That would be my suggestion, Johnny. I'll try that. And to tell Sol, yes. So actually, I remember that Sol cannot change the model of its sub-agents yet. I think they are going to fix that. So it would always span other Sol sub-agents, but you could ask it to span codex threads that use Luna, if that makes sense. So instead of sub-agent, codex would start here threads. I'm gonna fork my project in 2 new forks and see what happens. Yes, I'm curious, Johnny. Let me know what happens. Sonnet to complete a phase, and when I ask Opus to complete a phase. Yes, yes. Let's go. This is, by the way, what is happening here, the dynamic workflow. So I had a pretty complicated task given to Opus, and it has created a dynamic workflow here. You could see it has 3 phases: services, integration, and verification. And this burns a lot of tokens, those workflows, because they run, I believe they run now multiple agents, like they run 4 agents, 4 sub agents for each task in this stage of the pipeline. But usage is resetting in about 36 hours, and I still have a bit left. So I think I'm gonna burn through it just on time. And for OpenAI, they reset it and they're very efficient. I still have a lot. Johnny, where are you from, by the way? Are you Finnish? Like from Finland? All right, Finland, nice. I'd like to buy a sauna for my garden. That would be awesome. So on a Saturday, you are cooking with Claude. Sauna is very good. Yes, I used to go to sauna in Germany quite a lot, but now in Bulgaria, I live in a small town and there is no sauna here. So my option is to buy one. That would be awesome. I want to buy one. Do you have sauna at home, Johnny? We need to tell Anthropic that we want better observability is what happens in this workflow. So look, I know that there are 4 sub agents running. What are those 4 sub-agents doing? I want to see. Let me see. Why are you hiding this? There's a sound of heat via fireplace. Damn, nice. You have that probably in almost every house, right? Johnny, do you work full time? Are you in school? I'll be right back. Get some sunshine and coffee, Johnny. Thanks a lot for joining. Thank you. Yes, Johnny, I'll probably be live today later. If you want to stop by, let me know how was your Anthropic subscription. I'll work a bit more, some more couple of minutes, then I'll go eat, stop the stream, go eat, come back, probably stream a bit more, go running, come back, stream a bit more. I don't know. I'm gonna work today all day and try to stream it, but will be different streams because I'll be stopping, going to eat, so. Hopefully when I come back for the next live stream session, I'll have the music figured out. That'll be nice. Play some lo-fi, hip hop, techno. I don't know. Maridoy99, hello, how's it going? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Like this grill me skill from Matt is so amazing. It just gives me so many questions, and someone suggested on on one of my YouTube videos to use grill me or Wayfinder for front end with the impeccable skill, and I think that would be goated. And I need to try it out. Actually, I need to try it out maybe in the next session. I'll watch the Wayfinder video because I'm not updated on that. And then we'll try to have a Wayfinder with grill me improve the user interface on one of the applications here. I'm working on a server agent, one that deploys your application, and on a YouTube studio kind of head of content to manage my YouTube channel. Maridor, what are you in tech? What are you doing? Do you work with coding agents? And another thing that comes to mind is in the previous version or current version of the application, when I chat with the server agent that loops, and that's using Pi under the hood, the chat itself takes quite a lot of space. So every tool call, every message is a big line that takes a lot of screen space. If we can make it feel more like a real chat, each message should feel like a real chat, that would be great, because then we can save a lot of space and we don't use much on the user experience side, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm open to discuss that. Just published my site. I used Codex. Awesome. How's your experience with Codex? Do you like it? Damn, I'm seeing that the cloud browser MCP has burnt around 45% of my usage. I'm not sure. Does anyone understand this? Input tokens 550? Sorry, this is a very dumb question here, but 550 million or what? No, million can't be. Million. No, definitely. It can't be million. Thousand, maybe. All right, I'm gonna stop the stream here. Go eat something. Take a break. I'll come back. Maybe I'll stream more. We'll see. But yeah, thanks a lot to everyone for joining for my first live stream. Really appreciate it. I hope I do some more of those. Let's see.